Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this momentous occasion. And it's a momentous occasion on varying fronts because today we celebrate the unveiling of the 2021 sponsorship, not one, but two, and it's courtesy of the favorite friend to Zimbabwean football, and that in that regard we're talking about Casalaga and of course Chibuku, but I can even stretch it and say the favorite friend to Zimbabwean sport, and that would be Delta Beverages. I believe that deserves a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. The Premier Soccer League Board Chairman, Mr. Farai Jere, Operations Director for Lagers, SBs, Transport Services, Mr. Moses Gambiza, the Premier Soccer League Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Kennedy Ndebele, the General Manager, Lager Business, that is Mr. Tichafa Rinomota, the General Manager for Chibuku, Mr. Marshall Pemiwa, Supply Chain Director, Mrs. Rose Mbelengwa, General Manager Corporate Affairs, Patricia Murambinda, Delta Executives, Management and Staff here present, PSL Management and Staff here present, Sports and Recreation Commission officials here, ZIFA members here present, representatives of soccer clubs. I saw the chairman of Dynamo's Football Club. Thank you for being here. Members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to say all protocol is observed. As we said earlier, today is a momentous day because we celebrate the unveiling of the sponsorship packages for 2021 going forward, courtesy of Delta Beverages. And this means that it extends a relationship with Zimbabwean football that started well before independence in the 60s and continues even to this day. It is a big thank you to Delta Beverages. It therefore gives me great pleasure to call upon the Delta Lagers General Manager, Tich Rinomota, to please come forward and share with us a few welcoming remarks. A big round of applause as he comes, ladies and gentlemen.
I think I can do away with the mask for a few seconds. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And allow me to go straight into the business of the day. The Premier Soccer League Board Chairman, Mr. Farai Jere, the Premier Soccer League Chief Executive Officer, Ms. Ken Ndebele, Delta Beverages Executive Director here present, Moses Gambiza, Delta Beverages General Manager SOCAM, Mr. Marshall Pemiwa, Delta Beverages General Manager Corporate Affairs, Ms. Patricia Murambinda, Delta Beverages Supply Chain Director, Ms. Rose Mbelengwa, Delta Beverages Executives here present, PSL League officials and members of the football fraternity, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. On this very special day, Delta Beverages, through its leading beer brands, is reaffirming its commitment to the game of football by the renewal of our long-standing sponsorship of the Premier Soccer League. Our years of sponsorship have changed the face of football in Zimbabwe. We have watched in delight as thousands of excited fans have thronged stadiums and bars countrywide to watch their favorite teams skillfully and passionately battle it out on the fields all season long. We have seen new teams coming on board onto the scene and growing their local communities, and we have seen players performing at the highest levels to launch regional and international careers for themselves, all with our flagship brand, Casalaga, at the center. Visibility and appreciation of the game has indeed increased over the years through our various initiatives together with the PSL, and this is something we seek to grow as we continue to invest in the sport that we love so much as a nation. This year, however, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves faced with a landscape that is different to anything you and I could have ever foreseen or expected. The outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic took the world by storm and changed the status quo, and that has left no business, industry, or sporting fraternity unchanged. Nonetheless, during the face of adversity, the pandemic has taught us to adapt and pivot into new directions as business and industry. To this season, we will embrace the change we see being effected world over. Empty stadia will indefinitely be the order of the day as government and sporting fraternities seek to mitigate the spread of COVID-19, and as such, a hybrid of traditional media platforms like direct-to-home TV, press and radio, together with new internet streaming platforms, will be paramount in bringing the game to all our consumers and soccer fans nationwide. We therefore rely on the PSL through its strong relationship with the media and various broadcast partnerships to ensure wide reach of content, as our brands must continue to be visible to our consumers and relevant in meeting their beverage needs from the safety of their own homes and preferred authorized outlets. I would like to congratulate the PSL on working tirelessly to bring the game of football back to the people. Your past and present achievements in the discipline, I believe, have allowed us to arrive at this point today. And for that, you have a partner in us now and into the future. We know the sponsorship will be executed, as always, in a transparent and objective manner, while safeguarding the interests, health, and safety of all teams, players, staff, and administrators alike, especially given the COVID-19 environment. In closing, ladies and gentlemen, our theme for the Castle Lager brand this year is centered around celebrating our rich heritage, which makes it Africa's finest beer. The Castle Lager League sponsorship was launched in 1962, and it is therefore a great honor to have reached this far through ongoing partnerships reflective of such a great heritage in sport. We look forward to an exciting start to the season as we nourish the bonds of brotherhood with the Open Book Super Cup tournament, and look forward to all things coming together with the Castle over the course of the season. I thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the General Manager for the Lager business, and that is Mr. Titch Rino Mota. Another big round of applause for him. COVID-19 has certainly affected us all, personally and collectively, and it took away the one thing that many of us truly love, and that is the domestic game. The domestic game is about to make a sorely needed break in the next week or so, and we thank the Premier Soccer League for working tirelessly to ensure that. But COVID is still among us, so we'd like to declare that this is a COVID-safe environment. We are socially distanced as we sit, and we ask you to keep your masks on wherever you are. Later on, those who are here in live will be enjoying a meal together. That is the time when we fully expect that the masks will come off. With that, it gives me great pleasure to call upon the General Manager, Corporate Affairs, and that is Patricia Murambinda, to please come through and unveil the wonderful element we are celebrating today, that is unveil the sponsorship packages. Patricia.
Allow me to remove my mask. My task is very simple this afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to announce the Delta Beverages sponsorship package for the next 3 seasons, meaning 2021, 2022, 2023. the sponsorship, the total sponsorship package for each season is $1.1 million and $30,000. So 1,130 million United States dollars. But I want to make it very clear this afternoon that this amount will be payable in our local currency, meaning the Zimbabwean dollars, at the bank rate of the day of submission of the invoice. I hope, Ms. Ndebele, you are very clear. The breakdown is as follows. The Castle Premier Soccer League sponsorship for each season is $700,000 US. The Castle Challenge Cup, $55,000 US. And the Chibuku Super Cup, $375,000. Thank you very much.
You know, when they said that those who have money are not loud or speak a lot, I didn't believe it until now. Patricia came, announced the money, and left. She was done. Thank you so much to Patricia Murambinda, the General Manager, Corporate Affairs, for unveiling the sponsorship package for our football for the next 3 years. There are two great things there. It's for 3 years, meaning that we can have stability and know what we're doing for the next 3 years. The second thing is the actual amounts that are split across the 3 competitions. Ladies and gentlemen, a total of $1.1 million US per season. That deserves a big round of applause. Allow me to call upon the chairman of the Premier Soccer League, Mr. Farai Jere, the operations director for Delta Beverages, Mr. Moses Gambiza, as well as Patricia Murambinda, the general manager, corporate affairs, to please come forward for the handover, which we'll do in front here, of the check for the total, the global sponsorship, which is the 1.1 million US dollars, which is payable in ZIM dollars, Kenny, on the date of the invoice. So time it perfectly when you send that invoice. You need to watch the markets. All right, so could we have the check? So we're going to do 2 photo opportunities in the center, and then we're going to then go in front of the castle banner. Do we have the check? So we can do the handover. Yes, if we can remove the masks so that there's proof that we're giving the money to the right people. And then if I could ask, Chairman, if you could stand on one side, Patricia stand in the center, and then Moses, you could hold the other end of the check, and Patricia stands in the middle. Okay. There's our check. Yes, let's check if it's the correct amount. That the check is signed and ready for handover. Ladies and gentlemen, 1.1 million United States dollars to the Zimbabwe Premier Soccer League. That is certainly cause for celebration. And now we're going to ask you to come in front of the banner so that we can conclude the photo opportunities in the same configuration. Let me move that for you. Brilliant. Thank you so much to our presentation party. And as you heard, the sponsorships are split across 3 competitions. which is the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League, the Castle Challenge Cup, and of course the Chibuku Super Cup. Today we'll be presenting the checks for the Chibuku Super Cup, which is the one that we will begin when we start the breakdown. So I'm going to ask perhaps the CEO of the Premier Soccer League to please come forward, as well as the Chibuku GM, Mr. Pa Marshall Pemiwa, joined by the marketing manager, Patience Dingani, to please come forward, and we can present the check for the Chibuku Super Cup. I wasn't great at maths at school, so I can't remember the exact amount, and I hope you'll indulge and forgive me for that. All right. And the Chibuku functionaries have dutifully removed the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League trophy. If we could have the check, please. All right, thank you very much. All right. They're just checking the details. Marshall is dutifully checking that the amount is correct. Okay, all right. The amount of 375,000 United States dollars for the Chibuku Super Cup, which this year will be the tournament that launches. This will be the competition that launches our football in Zimbabwe starting on the 22nd of this month. Wonderful. And then across to the banner. $375,000. So now all the answers have been provided for the media outlets. Some of us who are asking who will be sponsoring this cup competition. It'll be Chibuku. What is the prize money and what's on the table? 375,000 United States dollars. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Kenny, you can take that check to the bank. PSL CEO. I'm going to ask you to please return so that we can present the check for the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League. And for that, I'm going to ask Tich to return. Tich Rinomota, the Delta Lager's general manager, to please come forward, along with the marketing manager, Kundai Mawema, to please come forward and present the check for the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League. If I remember correctly, it was 700,000 United States dollars. Was I right, Steve? You're a lot better at maths than I was. So if you could please bring the check. And if we could return the trophy to its pride of place. It all comes together with a castle. Quick check of the amount. Kenny Ndebele, the CEO, trying to negotiate for a little bit more. Ladies and gentlemen, $755,000 per season for the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League. Certainly cause for celebration. Our football is on its way back. If I could ask us all to please come in front of the banner. A smile is not out of the bounds of
Teacher, you're unhappy to give the money.
Excellent, excellent. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, 1.1 million United States dollars, the total sponsorship package per season across 3 competitions by Delta Beverages to Zimbabwe's favorite pastime, football. Big round of applause and congratulations to the Premier Soccer League and Delta for sealing this partnership. And fittingly, it leads us to our next order of business, and that is to hear from the league. And that, for that, I'm going to call upon the chairman of the Premier Soccer League, Mr. Farai Jere. A big round of applause as he comes, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. When Delta unveiled the sponsorship package, I was tempted to change my speech. Thank you very much, Delta, for being there, for being with us all the times. And I don't want to put it as of today in US dollar terms. The sponsorship package which we have received today as Premier Soccer League for the next 3 years, if it's to be deposited into the PSL account today, is 288 million. That's how I hope the reporters will report it that way. It's quite a huge sponsorship. We are quite grateful. The operations director, lagers and sparkling beverages, Mr. Moses Gambiza. General Manager Lagers, Mr. Tichafa Mota. General Manager Chibuku, Mr. Marshall Pamiwa. Supply Chain Director, Ms. Rose Mbelengwa. General Manager Corporate Affairs, Patricia Murambinda. Delta Beverage Executives Management and staff here present. PSL CEO, Mr. Kenny Ndevele. Premier Soccer League Emergence Committee, being represented by Mr. Isaiah Mfuruta. PSL club representatives, members of the fourth state, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, good afternoon to you all. It feels good to be standing before you all as we prepare to resume football, which was disrupted by the COVID-19 pandemic. The impact of the virus cannot be downplayed. Across the world and to varying degrees, competitions have been cancelled or postponed. We only had one match, the Castle Challenge Cup in March last year, before we were affected by restrictions induced by the COVID-19 virus. While we have been given the green light to resume competitions, it is important that we adjust to the new normal and resume in a safe manner. We look forward to experiencing the electrifying stadium atmosphere as soon as possible. What I can promise you, Delta, and the members of the media and all the guests who are here, 2021 is going to be a different year. It's going to be very, very, very exciting. We have got a very good product. How the teams, how the clubs were doing their businesses during the transfer window or during the past year is very, very exciting. It's for you to see when we unfold the competition next weekend. 10 years ago, we embarked on a journey that has changed the face of local premiership. We entered into a partnership with Delta Beverages through the beer that brings people together, Castle Lager. Over the years, Delta is not only enabled PSL to deliver highly entertaining football to our regional fans, but it has helped to positively transform local football by providing various benefits and cup competitions. The Chibuku Super Cup has enjoyed immense success since its inception in 2014. Today, it has grown to become one biggest cup tournament, and through it, our clubs have been given a stage to shine in the CAF competitions. Ladies and gentlemen, through various initiatives, Delta Beverages has helped groom local talent, bring fierce competition and excitement, not only to football, but various sporting disciplines. Today, we are delighted to renew our long-standing partnership. The renewal is testament to the commitment that Delta Beverages has in football development and their faith in us as a league. We are confident that we deliver exhilarating action to our passionate fans across the country who had endured a whole year without football due to coronavirus pandemic. Our clubs are ready and raring to go. We are committed to ensure that football is played in a safe manner and everyone involved is compliant to the COVID-19 regulations and protocols. Since our matches will be played behind closed doors, we are pleased to announce that we have entered into a broadcasting partnership with the ZIM Papers television network, and fans will be able to catch all the Castle Lager Premiership action live from the comfort of their homes. On behalf of the Premier Soccer League, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to Delta Beverages. Your continued support is highly valued and appreciated. We look forward to working with you in the years ahead. Our 2021 season with Chibuku Super Cup next week, we encourage all the teams to practice fair play, adhere to competition rules, and to the COVID health protocols. I thank you.
Thanks very much to the chairman of the Premier Soccer League, Mr. Farai Jere, for those remarks. 2021 will be an exciting soccer season, of course, starting with the Chibuku Super Cup, which we will hear about momentarily. But before that, allow me to call upon the general manager of Chibuku, Mr. Marshall Pimiwa, to please come forward and share with us his remarks regarding football and the sponsorship unveiled today. A big round of applause as he comes. As you can tell, Marshall said he'll stand by his brand.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Barry. And I'll start with salutations as well. My colleague from the Premier Soccer League, the board chairman, Mr. Farai Jere, the CEO of the Premier Soccer League, Mr. Kenny Ndebele, my colleagues from Delta, our operations director, Mr. Moses Gambiza, Madame Rose Mbelengwa, our supply chain director, my counterpart, Tich, on the lager side of the business as the general manager. On the corporate affairs side, our general manager, Ms. Patricia Mrambinda, the Delta executives here present, management and staff, PSL management and staff, Sports and Recreation Commission officials, ZIFA members, if any are present. From the soccer clubs, I heard the chairman of Dynamos is here, and if any other arrived later on, we acknowledge you. Our friends from the media fraternity, ladies and gentlemen, very good afternoon. It gives me great pride to be speaking to you today at the unveiling and launch of the 2021 Chibuku Super Cup sponsorship package. Chibuku recognizes that soccer is a major passion point for its consumers, and that is the strongest motivation for the continued sponsorship of the Chibuku Super Cup tournament over the years. Thank you to the PSL for a strong partnership that has stood the test of time, and we are super excited to continue working together for the next 3 years. We remain resolute in developing soccer in the country and offering players an opportunity to showcase their skills and talent. Will surely be a welcome respite on and off the pitch. We look forward to exciting matches. Teams can look forward to winning exciting prizes in the tournament as they vie for the overall grand. The soccer family and our various stakeholders for their continued support in thank you.
The General Manager, thank you very much. Your speech was super. See what I did there? In bits and pieces coming out of the Premier Soccer League as to how football will return as of next week. But today we're proud to say we will see and hear the detail. So allow me to call upon Rodwell Tabe of the Premier Soccer League to please come forward and share with us the tournament format. Rodwell.
Good afternoon. Without wasting a lot of time, my presentation is meant to help us all understand how the Chibuku Super Cup tournament will be played for the season 2021. There has been a change in format, and this short presentation is meant to help us understand better how the teams will line up right up to the final match. So a bit of background to explain how we have got to where we are. We all know that football hasn't been played for the past year due to the coronavirus pandemic. And due to that, we have modified the Chibuku Super Cup tournament format to be played in a mini-league concept. This is to enable the smooth transition of football and the reboot from where it was to the Kasolaga Premiership, which is the main competition. So what we have done is that the 18-member teams for the Premier Soccer Leagues will all participate in this competition. Teams will be placed in localized groups. We have tried to regionalize and group teams closer to their specific area of residence. So teams that are closely located to Harare, we have a group in Harare. We have Group 2 being located in Bulawayo. We have Group 3 being located in Mutare, and Group 4 finally being located in Zwishavani. So the reasons that I've tried to outline, or that the league has brought about as being the main reasons to remodify this tournament, obviously the first one would be to allow the teams to enable themselves to pick as much game time as possible. The previous format was a direct knockout, but now the teams will first play in group phases. So there shall be a round robin of the initial group played matches, and then we'll proceed to the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the finals. So the top 2 teams from each group will then proceed to the quarterfinals, Rentals, Yada, and ZPC Kariba. Group 2, as stated, will be in Bulawayo, with Bulawayo Chiefs, Bulawayo City, Chicken Inn, and Highlanders FC. Group 3 will be located in Mutare, Sakuva Stadium, that is Black Rhinos FC, Cranbourne Bullets, Manika Diamonds, and Tenex Correctional Services FC. The final group will be in Zwishavane at Mandawa Stadium, that is FC Platinum, Ngezi Platinum, Triangle United FC, and Wawa FC. So as stated, the top 2 teams from each group, after playing the round robin stage, will then proceed to the quarterfinals. The quarterfinals will be as follows. The winner of Group 1 will play the runner-up of Group 3. In quarterfinal number 2, The winner of Group 3 will play the runner-up of Group 1. Quarterfinal number 3, winner Group 2 versus runner-up Group 4. And the final quarterfinal, winner Group 4 versus runner-up Group 2. For the semi-final matches, the winners from each quarterfinal match will then be paid by public drawing of lots. The venues will then be announced in due course by the Premier Soccer League. So from the quarterfinals, the winners, the 4 winners, we will conduct another draw. This time it will be by public drawing of lots. No teams will be seeded. It will be simply picking teams and pairing each other using the draw system. So this is the brief summary of how the tournament will be conducted. It means from the quarterfinals, we will then have single legs for the semifinals on a knockout basis, then the final match. So this is a period of 6 to 8 weeks, beginning on the 22nd of May, 2021. Thank you.
I love the statement, the public drawing of lots. Sounds very medieval, but it's literally just a draw. Rodwell, use simple language, my brother. But thank you so much, Rodwell Tabe of the Premier Soccer League, for sharing the competition format with us. That is the Chibuku Super Cup for the year 2021. No doubt there are some questions amongst our friends in the fourth estate, so we're going to open for those questions. And the format is simple. There is a roving microphone here in the room. Kindly raise your hand, stand up, identify yourself, and ask your question. The question can be directed at a specific individual, or we can allocate the question depending on what it is on specifically. If you are joining us via the live stream, you can place your comments in the comments section, and we'll be able to see them a bit later on. Questions? My brother Steve from ZIM Papers Radio.
Hello, everyone. It's amazing to be back in football, isn't it? Well, thanks so much to Delta for the sponsorship. We're all excited about that. Maybe it's for Kenny. Does this mean we are adopting August start of the season going forward, or is this going to be a temporary arrangement in terms of the main season?
Okay, that question directed at Kenny. It is around whether we will be adopting the August to May calendar going forward. Kenny Ndebele, the CEO of the PSL.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve. At the moment, everything is basically on trial run because we are going to be governed by what the authorities will guide us. As you are aware that the lower leagues have not been allowed to resume. So in terms of our calendar, we'll only know once all the other stakeholders have resumed their football activities.
Okay. So to clarify, this will act as a live test for the return of football?
Yes, so it is important for us as the Premier Soccer League to take the lead and ensure that we follow all the protocols and the safe return of football activities in the country.
All right, thank you very much, Kenny. Next question. You don't need to identify yourself, you just need to stand. I will introduce you. Ladies and gentlemen, the senior sports editor at the leading daily in the country, The Herald, Mr. Robson Sharuku.
Thanks, Aaron. My question is to the CEO. I see there are two questions, actually. There are 6 teams in Harare for the Chibuku Super Cup. And there is a Harare team that is playing in Mutare. Surely, wouldn't it have been fair to have 5 teams in Mutare, 5 teams in Harare, since this is a round-robin thing? Since already we have taken one Harare team to Mutare, we could have taken an extra one. And wouldn't the Harare teams feel they've been put in an unfair position because there are 6 teams there, while it's the other groups, there are 4 teams each. I'm saying that because this is a premier tournament and the playing field has to be seen to be level. Then the next question is, how are the teams going to deal with the issue of who pays the stadium? Because in the past, we knew that the teams would generate revenue from the people who would have entered the stadium. Then they'll get a percentage from those gate receipts. Now that there aren't any funds, will the stadium costs now be borne by the PSL? And if so, how is it going to be done? Thank you.
Thank you, Robson. I'll start with the easier one, the second one.
Right.
We have been engaging the authorities, the stadium owners, and I'm happy to say that the response has been very positive. Mandava Stadium has been offered to us free to use up to the end of the tournament, provided there are no damages. Babafield Stadium, the city of Bulawayo has said they've already had a resolution where each of the Bulawayo-based team will be allocated 5 matches to be played there for free of charge. We're waiting for feedback from the Sport and Recreation Commission, and we're very confident that we'll get a positive response. Mutare City Council should be coming back to us today, and we are also confident that we'll get free use of the facilities.
Just for clarity, you're speaking to the SRC about the National Sports
The
Stadium.
National Sports Stadium, yes. The first question is the issue of the teams. Ideally, the Premier Soccer League would have been happy with 16 or 32, where it's easier for you to pay for a cup tournament. You have realized that the previous Chibugu Super Cup matches would then have a preliminary round where 4 teams play in the preliminary, which automatically becomes unfair. We're using the log table, but the previous log table, but now we are using the post-COVID situation. So when it comes to the allocation, Harare has got more teams than any other city in Zimbabwe. And we looked at a situation where you could not have 5, because it means every week you have a bye. So you need to have all the teams playing every week. So if you have 5 teams, it means you have 2 games and a half. So the half is not played.
Right.
So we had to allocate. There were other reasons why we then restrictions. So we looked at who could easily travel under those circumstances. Thank you.
And those 2 teams traveling to Mutare will be Black Rhinos and Cranbourne Bullets. They will be based in Mutare. All right. Any other questions? Robson, are you answered? You happy? Do you have a follow-up? You'll follow up privately. There's a reason they call him the Godfather.
Thank you very much. My name is Makomborero from ZTN. At the last Soccer Star of the Year banquet, we got a feeling that Delta weren't happy about the violence. We got that kind of hint. I think for Delta, how difficult was it to recommit to football after those reservations? And during those negotiations, where your concerns, the Castle Challenge Cup, FC Platinum and Highlanders, and it was set aside. What then happens? Are there repercussions for the PSL when such incidences do happen again? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marco. I'm going to call upon Patricia Murambinda, the GM Corporate Affairs, to respond to that one.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. The position of Delta in terms of football sponsorship is very key to us, and it's very close to our consumers of Chibuku Super and Kasolaga. Hence, ourselves being found here again today, because the platform gives us an opportunity to talk to our consumers, and we are happy about that. In terms of the issues that come up during the league, we are always talking to PSL and trying to iron out any problems that we have. And so far, we've managed to do it successfully. Thank you.
And do these matters arise when you guys were negotiating for this new deal?
We always sincerely hope that they will be able to manage those fields when I think it was Highlanders playing Dynamos. But that's why we call them natural disasters.
Is that Delta is committed to football, just as football needs to be committed to, and I'm sure are committed to Delta Beverages. So as a team, we work together and make sure that we
This one is directed to Patricia, probably. This is a three-year sponsorship deal, but we're living in an uncertain world where we don't even know that next year the Premier Soccer League will be played. And if it's not played, what are the guarantees that the sponsorship then remains a 3-year sponsorship deal? Will the money be carried forward, or after 3 years?
I think it boils down to the deal lasts 3 years. If any natural disaster happens, I'm sure we can carry.
Thanks so much.
if you could stand, identify yourself. And
Ash Tikiwa from Star FM. My question is on adding costs. I think referees' costs, you covered those as well. Just wanted to find out for this.
At the moment, there is no commitment to any subsidy. If anything arises, I think we'll have to discuss with PSL.
Henry over there. Mics are just being sanitized. As I said, this is a COVID-safe environment. Please wait for the microphone.
You know the breakdown of the sponsorship. You see here, there's a total package of 1.1 million. Is this for the whole 3 years or for this season only?
Okay.
The prize money is for the tournaments and Castle Challenge Cup.
Okay, all right. So the easy answer, that one doesn't even need to go to Delta, is that 1.1 million is per season. In Premier Soccer League, 755,000. There is a further 300,000 for the Chibuku Super Cup, and 50-odd thousand for once they're all settled. As you know, there are various tiers of that, and I'm sure the league will communicate. Okay. You can engage some of our panel and dignitaries on any other questions that may arise. Ndebele, to please come forward and give us his closing remarks and vote of thanks. You're welcome to choose which platform you will speak from, but please take note, the one you choose speaks a lot, speaks volumes.
Morning. The volume that you're talking about is obviously, so I thought I would stand here and then just comfort you, but they've just deserted, so it's fine. Delta Beverages Chain Director, Mrs. Rose Mbelengwa. General Manager, Lagas, Mr. Tishafari Nemota. General Manager Chibugu, Mr. Marshall Pemio. General Manager Corporate Affairs, Mrs. Patricia Mrambinda. The Delta Beverages executives and management. Thank you. We'll do the thanking proper. My chairman, member of the Emergency Committee, Mr. Jerry, Mr. Mfurutse, the PSL Club representatives, members of the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to celebrate a partnership that has stood the test of time. And we've actually stood the biggest test of time by, at this stage, surviving the COVID-19, which we have endured since last year, and hopefully will continue to follow the protocols. On behalf of the Premier Soccer League, I would like to express our gratitude to Delta Beverages for being a reliable football benefactor for so many years by servicing as the title sponsor of the Kaslaka Championship, the PSL League Championship. We're grateful for partnering us in all our endeavors, the Castle Challenge Cup, we had the PSL International Football Symposium,
and all our events and programs. Your close cooperation with the PSL has been the key to the success of our football. We value your support and commitment to football development. We're excited and in great anticipation as we prepare for the Chibugu Super Cup, which is starting on 22 May 2021. I'm sure from now on there's a name. So when you have the name, we have been talking about the competition and people were talking about promotion and relegation. There we are today. Because of Delta Beverages, we now have a name for our competition. There's no doubt we've all endured a difficult period. We are, however, grateful that through Delta Beverages, we can now bring back the passion, the emotion, the excitement, and obviously, for those teams that don't win regularly, the disappointments and frustrations. We would like to thank the government of Zimbabwe through the relevant ministry and the SRC for allowing us to resume football activities, though under stringent conditions, which we are committed to follow right through the competition and as we start the league proper. We also like to take this opportunity to thank the club sponsors. They've looked after the teams for the whole of 2020, and they've actually been taking care of the business, and they are still committed to the development of football. I'd like to thank the media. I'd like to thank our fans for the continued support, and we would like to thank the partners that we have now, ZTN, and we're looking forward to more partnership arrangements as we work towards the start of the football competition, which we love so much, the Chibugu Super Cup. In this last regard, I commend Delta Beverages for having sponsored the Premier Soccer League for the past 10 years. I'm therefore very pleased that you have committed further support for the game for the next 3 years. We look forward to a long and fruitful partnership. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much to the PSL, Professor Kennedy Ndebele, and thank you for being so considerate and wanting to keep me company because Mike is not here. That's very good of you. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings a conclusion to our official program. And just a few points to just say thank you to the team that has brought football back. I'm certain that there are many in the media fraternity and many of those who are following us online through ZTN who were missing the local game, and we were all crying out for the game to return. But it takes a village to raise a child, and so we've all come together, and now football can finally return. And with the Chibuku Super Cup, the winners representing the country in the Confederations Cup, I think it is a fantastic initiative that is a test case for us to bring football back to these shores. To those of you who are joining us through ZTN, thank you so much for doing so. To those who are here in person, we do have a small bite prepared where we can discuss further some of the issues around our football and discuss how football will return. Thank you so much for being here. That being said, may God richly bless you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Manandi, out.